Thoughts on prayer. Some admissions and confessions. I don't have a display case of prayer trophies. Some of you are astounded by that. Regarding the practice of prayer, I've never won any gold medals, not even a silver one or a bronze. The seminary from which I graduated didn't offer any classes entitled The Art of Prayer, or prayers in the Bible, or how to obtain holiness through prayer, or the history of prayer from the Renaissance to the present. Not a single class on prayer. I don't have any blue ribbons to testify to my praying talents or skills. I don't have any prayer merit badges. No framed letters of commendation. No prayer certificate hanging on any wall in the office or in our house. As a kid who went to church twice a Sunday up the road in Holland, I developed some hearty stamina because we had a longtime minister who offered 10 to 12-minute prayers. And I wasn't a naughty kid. I didn't get into trouble, but I often just didn't close my eyes. I just watched him pray. And I said, I'm never going to do that. I wonder if God gets tired of prayers. And I wonder at times if God might just say, figure it out for yourself. When people say after a mass shooting, thoughts and prayers, they don't often mean either one, especially when those words are uttered by spineless politicians who could actually do something about it if they weren't beholden to the lethal powers of organizations who seem to keep up that killing index. Pass a gun law once in a while. Sometimes prayer feels like having a conversation with myself, and truth be told, I often get bored with such conversations. Okay, so no need to answer verbally, but think about it. How often do you pray? How many here have tried to pray but failed and never tried again? How many of you are on a permanent hiatus regarding all things concerning prayer? I wonder how many of us are nurturing a legitimate grudge against God because of prayers that have not been answered yet. Or how many of us prayed for something and actually got it? Marvelous. How many of us are praying at this moment for someone else who needs prayer? Or how many of us hold to the belief that prayer is really for the unenlightened, and the unenlightened may or may not include TV preachers with southern accents and bad comb-overs? Wherever you and wherever we find ourselves regarding this matter of prayer, it's clear from the gospel accounts that Jesus prayed. And his Jewish disciples prayed in large part because they were Jewish. And they asked Jesus for more instruction, so Jesus taught them the Jesus prayer, commonly known in some circles as the Lord's Prayer. And in Luke's story, Jesus adds this bonus to the prayer, this promise. If one prays diligently enough, persistently enough, tirelessly enough, or in the words of Bob Dylan, knocking on heaven's door enough, one will get all that for which one prays. Yeah, some of you are nodding your heads in approval of that. I find that a reckless promise on which to lean. And as a pastor, as a counselor, as an advice giver, I would never tell a person, just pray harder, and you'll get what you wish for. It's right there in Luke, and I would never say it. Just ask for it, and you'll get it. Seek it, and you will find. Knock on that door until your knuckles are raw, and you will get that for which you're knocking. Tell that to 6 million Jews who lost their lives in the Holocaust. Tell that to the 2,977 souls who lost their lives on 9/11. Tell that to Texas parents who are still digging through the mud of the Guadalupe River looking for their child. Just pray harder, longer, better, more passionately. You know, people who pray for miracles seldom get miracles. And conversely, people who pray for courage, for strength to bear the unbearable, for the grace to remember that what they have left instead of what they've lost, often find their prayers in some measure answered. Their prayers help them tap hidden resources of courage and resolve that seemingly was not available to them, but they found it somehow in their prayers. I like to make lists, and I have a list of 8 or 9 prayer thoughts that came to me in recent days. And I think I feel comfortable enough to share them with you. I don't believe in prayer if believing in prayer is understood as getting those things for which we pray. I don't believe in prayer if believing in prayer is understood as a mechanism to convince God to come around to my way of thinking. I don't believe in prayer that it's the main purpose to change circumstances and remove troubling situations from my life or yours. I don't believe that prayer always makes one a better person, a better spouse, a better friend, a better anything. I don't believe that as long as one prays sincerely and unselfishly and for the benefit of others, that such prayers will see their fruition. Sometimes. I don't believe that in order to be a person of integrity and honesty, one needs to be a blue ribbon gold medal practitioner of prayer. I don't believe that prayer's primary purpose is to get God's attention. And I certainly don't believe that prayer should be an attempt to twist God's arm until God finally gives in. Most times, the best prayers contain no words. The best prayers can be deep sighs. The kind of sigh when you witness somewhere in the distance that yellow-orange sphere that touches the horizon of Lake Michigan. The kind of sigh when you scrunch your toes deep into beach sand. The kind of sigh you make when you never tasted pasta so good, or a hug so sincere, or a handshake so friendly. Or a violin solo so pure. I just threw that one in there. The best prayers produce wonder and awe and gratitude. Oftentimes, the best prayers arrive when you hold the hand of the one you love or the friend you've known for years and you don't have to say a word because you know what each one's thinking. The best prayers sometimes are the tear-filled, fond memories of dear ones who have left this life, as many of you have known and experienced, and have transitioned to that which awaits all of us someday. The best prayers sometimes are the tearful, fond memories that come as gratitude that overwhelms us when we catch a lucky break that we didn't deserve. When help reached us at just the right moment. Or maybe when that bright red cardinal in the backyard sang her song just for you. No, if it's a red cardinal, it's a he. He sung it just for you. The best prayers happen when you look back on your life and you can count your years of sobriety. The best prayers are lived out when we give ourselves to the underserved and the overwrought, the ones whom are increasingly thought of as a menace to the soil on which they stand. Happens a lot these days. Maybe just living every day with tender hearts and open eyes and welcoming hands is an essential definition of what it means to pray. Maybe it's more truthful to say we live out our prayers rather than pray them out. About 40 years ago, I heard Rabbi Harold Kushner speak in New York City. He is the author of many remarkable books, including When Bad Things Happen to Good People. The good rabbi died 2 years ago. And a year or so before his death, he wrote this prayer, and I came upon it this past week. Let the rain come and wash away the ancient grudges, the bitter hatreds held and nurtured over generations. Let the rain wash away the memory of the hurt and the neglect. Then let the sun come out and fill the sky with rainbows. Let the warmth of the sun heal us wherever we are broken. Let it burn away the fog so that we can see each other clearly, so that we can see beyond labels, beyond accents, beyond gender, beyond skin color. Let the warmth and brightness of the sun melt our selfishness so that we can share the joys and feel the sorrows of our neighbors, and let the light of the sun be so strong that we see all people as our neighbors. Let the earth, nourished by rain, bring forth flowers to surround us with beauty. And let the mountains teach our hearts to reach prayerfully to God in heaven. Thoughts on prayers. I am no expert, and sometimes I am an unwilling practitioner. But the more I live, the more I learn, and I hope the same for you. Thanks for listening.